everybody, welcome to the Daily Reads book series. I'm Christina, Kristina, and today we're talking about on disc 3, with Star Trek Next Generation, the episodes 153. Please check out my last video where I really screwed up and messed up. Oh, and please hit the thumbs up, please. I need to get more likes and subscribers. I'm failing miserably, especially after the disaster that happened in the last video. Please check it out. So today we're talking about the booby trap, and it starts off with Geordi on the holodeck having a romantic thing with Christy, and oh, I did a braid in the last video. And he's trying too hard. He's got the beach and the waves and the music and the romantic. And I want to know why they approached the subject of Pulaski doing the surgery on Geordi to get the visor off, and then they dropped it. They never went back with it, they never addressed it, they never even hinted at it. And I want to know why Geordi's trying to get close to a girl on the beach with his visor on. A lot of people will take their glasses off when they go to get a little close. And Geordi doesn't take them off at all. And it feels kind of forced. And I guess that was the whole point of showing this, was that they just didn't clash. And so then we get to the 10 forward, and Wesley and Data are playing, I guess it's a future version of chess. Did they play it on Big Brother? I forget. So they're playing the game of chess, and Wesley sees Geordi, and he's like, uh-oh. And Data's like, what's uh-oh? And Wesley says, Geordi's back from his date. It probably didn't go well. And then Data's like, uh-oh. This is not working at all. So they detect an emergency signal of some sort. So they go to investigate. And when they get there, there's a ship. I mean, it looks a little Klingon-y. And I don't know what kind of species this is. I didn't look it up. It looked like a fish kind of species or something. And Picard is so excited that he found the ship. And he's using the ship in a bottle metaphor a few times. And everybody's looking at him like he's bonkers. And except Chief O'Brien, who is back again. Thank you very much, Chief O'Brien. So, and she was like, well, yeah, I did do the ship in the bottle thing. I always wanted to know about those things, but I didn't have the patience. Anybody have the patience to actually do those? I mean, come on. I could make this smaller, but I don't want to. So they beam down over to the ship, and the power goes a little bit. And then Picard and them, they find the crew still at their stations, and Worf is like, it's heroic that they died honorably at their stations. And Picard is just so thrilled. Like you dug up an ancient artifact, at the ocean front. Or, one of those, like maybe at the Florida coast, one of a Spanish galleon, or maybe you're up in Gettysburg or Virginia, or up in Ticonderoga, or down in the Alamo, and you dig up some ancient artifacts, some ancient bottle, and you're so like, yes, cool, beans, I got something, I found this. Like me in a courthouse in the records vault with genealogy records, you go, yes, right? So, poor Geordi, we go back to the Enterprise, and poor Geordi, is talking to Geordi, and she tells him in a couple of different ways that he's trying too hard. And Whoopi Goldberg, as Guinan, gives the best advice by not saying anything. She lets the person talk through it. She make a good shrink. I think that's what kind of the writers wrote her so well. I wonder if she even wrote herself. I wonder if they said, now Jordy's gonna come in and say this, and you respond as Guinan and you write your own lines. I wonder if she did that. I wonder if it's impossible because she's just written so good for Whoopi. So they're going through they power up the alien vessel and they turn off the distress signal. And all right, I had a moment here because the guy's hand is on the thing, and my brain was sitting there going, his hand's on the button. They just need to move his hand over like this. But no, they did something else over there with the machine. I'm sorry, but that's just what I was thinking. Oh, and then Jordy falls in love with Leia. We'll get to that in a second. So they play the thumb drive of the other ship. I call it a thumb drive, a little disc. And the captain says it's entirely his fault that his crew is in this situation. He accepts full responsibility, and Picard is very impressed. This is how a captain should be. And he's so happy. They found all this stuff. They found the ship in the bottle. They found this artifact. It needs to be explored. They need to go in a museum someplace. And they get back to the Enterprise, and Picard is so happy. And you see Riker and Troy with, because they're happy that Picard's happy that he got to do this. And then they start to return to their original path, and they start having energy problems, and things start acting up again. And Picard realizes that they have fallen into an 1,000-year-old booby trap. They hold a meeting of the senior officers, and Geordi tells them they've got 3 hours. And it's a very long 3 hours if you think about it. And they have not been able to identify the source of the radiation. They have 3 hours for the radiation. And the radiation is so strong that it interferes with their senses. And the radiation is taking away their shields and sense, they can't explore with their sensors and stuff. So they decide what go back and forth, and they decide to go back to the ship. And Geordi is having a hard time in engineering. Dr. Crusher wants to start evacuation procedures, and Picard's like, go ahead. And the Way team finds more memory sticks, and they, while they're doing that, Geordi goes back to the holodeck and starts interacting with Leia. And Data finds more of the thumb drives, and he brings them back, and they bring them back to the Enterprise. They play the logs, and while they're doing this, Geordi's fallen in love with Leia. Absolutely fallen in love with her. And so they play the logs of the captain of this ship and find out that they were the same acetone assimilator generators floating in the floating debris that's making this booby trap. And Geordi has a passionate, heated discussion with Leia. And it comes to one point she even gives him a massage. And he's got to realize she's not real. He's falling in love with this idea of her until later. Until next season, maybe? Or later? I'm not sure. And the radiation increases, and they have another staff meeting, and Picard gives Geordi 1 hour to figure things out. And first, Geordi's like, they need to turn the ship over to the computer, because the computer can do things faster than even Data can do stuff. And Picard is explaining this all to Riker, and Geordi finally comes up with the answer. They debated on the bridge about going for it, and Picard takes the comm from Wesley, and the captain makes the maneuvers, and then he does a slingshot thingy. And when they get out of it, he makes the fortunate. I mean, I still think that, I agree with him that I would like to preserve it, but they can't have anybody else getting stuck in that trap. They might get dead. So they destroy the ship. And Jordy talks to Leah one more time, and um, she says, "Well, every time you look at the engine, or every time you look at this, you'll think of me. It's me." And I'm like, "Good Lord, who writes this stuff? It's so freaking corny." So that's the booby trap. Please give me a thumbs up. I'm experimenting today because these are a little long. Please give me a thumbs up and like and subscribe, please. I really screwed up on the bonding episode, so please check in and like and subscribe, please. Thank you.